All right, fellow gaming lords. So I've done a few videos on this, and I want to deep dive on one specific function that's been added to the game, and that's the tokens or the Omega points, and specifically the special tokens and the new addition of our way to acquire some of the region costume boxes and some of the the special costumes, the Rise of the East, for instance, and the steampunk costumes. So let's get a little bit serious and talk about this here. So, because I don't want this to get lost in chatter, so this should be a quick video, and I promise to be quick. We are looking at the game in terms of what are you going to have to actually pay in order to get one of these Rise of the East costume boxes, right? So at the moment, it's 2,000 Omega points. 2,000 Omega points. You guys can write this shit down if you want to, so that way it goes 2,000 Omega points. That's to get one piece randomly of the Rise of the East costume box, right? Or the Steam costume box. So if we go inside our charges, we can look at what will actually allow us to generate Omega points. Most of our draws will allow us to generate Omega points. If we did costume or Omega cards, you can see that we're getting a total of 20 Omega points for a total of 1,800 crystals. 20 Omega points for a total of 1,800 crystals. Never mind the 2,000, because we have never paid 2,000 for them, so it's always been 1,800. There's no discount here for these draws because it's always been 1,800. Soft launch to global launch, it has never been 2,000 crystals. There's no reduction in cost. So the standard is 1,800. So inside the charges, we can automatically look and see what 1,800 crystals is worth, because we can see it's $27, or let's round off to $30 in general. So that's $30 per 20 Omega points. So if you were to do the math on that, you're basically looking at, you need 20 crystals to get to 100, or 20 Omega points, so you need 100 of them, right? So let's say you need 100 Omega points in order to equal this. Basically what it's going to work out to is every 1,000, you're hearing me right, every 1,000 Omega points is basically the equivalency of paying $1,500. You heard that correctly. Here goes the math on that, right? So I'm going to pull up this calculator right here so that way you can see that. If it's 20 Omega points, is basically equal to $30. All right, so we have $30 CE. $30 is equal to 20 Omega points. That's times 5. It gets us to 100, right? I'm bad at math, so I'm doing it this simple Barney style. So basically $150 is equal to 100 Omega points. So we times that by 10, and we're literally at 1,500 is the equivalent of 1,000. So we need 2,000 of those. So that's basically times 2, and we are at $3,000. You heard that correctly. So it's probably roughly $2,500 to $3,000 simply to get 2,000 Omega points. Yeah, you heard that correctly. 2,000 Omega points. So every one piece of these costumes is basically worth $3,000 to Marvel Future Fight, to the net, to Netmarble team. You need 4 of these pieces to complete a set. 4. You heard that correctly. 4. So it's 3,000 times 4. You're basically at about what we've surmised the math to be, somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 to get one of these sets. If you were to purchase it this way, $10,000 to $12,000. I'm going to say this, and I wanted to do a side video to this because that is absolutely predatory. It's predatory on a part of Netmarble. It would be predatory on a part of any developer. Who are you actually appealing to by this? At some point, there's going to be multiple costumes that are released. You are going to bleed wells dry where they can no longer support this. Even if you looked at something like the 4-star region costume box that you can purchase a number of 3 of them per month, it's still 300 tokens. Well, I just told you it's $150 for 100 tokens. $150. So you're still looking at almost, what is that, $150? That's 300 $450 that you're looking at just to get 300 tokens, so that way you can purchase one 4-star region costume box at a chance rating for each of these. Like, look at that. And the worst part about it is this doesn't even include a 6-star piece. This is a 4-star piece, so I still have to level this up overall. So I bring this point up because I want to focus in on this special token shop, because there's a reason. The token shop kind of, you know, I kind of came back to this topic because I saw Darth Microtransaction and Mobile Gamer did a discussion between the two of them about whether the game was pay to win or pay to play. And it was definitely one of those, or free to play friendly. Whether those things are coming up or not, you know, you have to take a look at those things. Now, I will say, and I will give it this much. These costumes, right, they are more like, when you look at the costume abilities, whereas a given mirror dimension, essentially a 12 plus stat on it, and illusion magic class skills are getting a +6. This is not one of the costumes that you absolutely need for Doctor Strange, because I can tell you right now, I use one illusion magic class skill. I do use mirror dimension, but how often am I plugging away at their mirror dimension? Not that greatly. So is this costume going to literally take that character over the edge of somebody else? Possibly, you know, but you're more likely to take it over the edge with something like this. So even when you look at the 500 points required there, you can see how much money is required to put into this game for this. Now, they do give you a number of drops and tickets and stuff like that, so that way you can generate Omega points yourself just from simply playing the game. And that's where the doozy comes in, because they are giving you a way to earn these. So there is a lifeline over the course of the game that you could unlock these things simply by being free to play. Is it free to play friendly? No. Is it pay to win friendly? Of course, obviously. If you're a person like Halfsin Gaming, where he can drop that kind of money, or Darth Microtransaction, where he can drop that kind of money, obviously is going to benefit you, because you're going to be well outside the way. The question that I have for you guys is, how much is the game going to be of interest to you if you are that far ahead of everyone else? So I will continue to argue for you guys that the game is a good, solid base. The problem that I essentially see rising, perhaps, is when these whales decide that this has bled them dry and they're no longer interested in this juice, and they leave to go to the new pasture, which will leave this server in general, especially the way that they're set up, where the servers will look dry. And essentially all of the alliances will start to combine into one alliance. So, you know, everybody's going to join the whale pod or the top 3 alliances in the game, and you're not going to have these whales around any longer, and you're going to probably have people that want to flee the servers to go to newer servers. That's a possibility. So I want to keep this kind of fresh in you guys' mind, simply because I want you guys to understand that the game is an exciting game nonetheless, right? But remember that you do not have to pay to keep up with these players. There's no reason for you to pay to keep up with these players. At any point where the game becomes a 1-to-1 ratio, right, meaning like every 1 Omega point is worth $1, then you could probably start looking at the game and going, hey, I'm getting my monetary value worth of the game, and maybe I consider playing the game. But you're going to really have to, at that point, until that point, look at the deals and the things that they have that actually benefit you in the long run. For instance, the Alpha Future membership guarantees you a set amount of tokens every day, 50 tokens every day for 28 days. Will that allow you to get ahead in the game? Of course it will. Of course it will. These Alpha supply boxes aren't that great, but the Omega Future membership does hold more, right? So it's actually good, because here we are with 150 tokens every day, and an Omega Omega supply box, which has a way better drop rates on 3-star costumes and so forth like that. It's a decision for you. Like, for instance, is that $4 worth the crystals that you have? Play where you can, find the deals where you can. I have a feeling that eventually this is going to have to be reined in, because there's no way that this is a sustainable model, that we're literally saying $50 guarantees me a random region costume box at 4-star, not 5-star, not 6-star, at 4-star, $50, 4-star. that is going to be a sustainable model for the game. It's just not going to be. I just don't see it. How many whales can really whale that way? How much money has the game generated, and how much money will it continue to generate over the longevity of it? So remember, guys, at the end of the day, most of this is about you having fun with the gameplay and not having to worry about what the whales are doing. Let the whales whale and let them kind of guide you to say, this is what I should and what I shouldn't invest in. Until then, just keep having fun playing the characters and leveling them up, because you're still going to get characters that hopefully you don't have to pay for at all. So I hope this video has been enlightening for you, so that way you don't feel the rush to try to pay this out, because you kind of see where you're going with it in terms of these special tokens, and you plan accordingly. Find a set that's maybe not best in slot that you can level up on the side of your other, best in slot gear, so that way you can accelerate your gameplay and work on that best in slot over time. That's going to be your best bet. Trust me, it will be. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, in the comments, let me know what you think about this, these pricing on these Omega points and these things, and like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace.